Hello, hello! Welcome to Plumaru! And today, as you can see, I've got POSCA pens. Now this is a 12 color set with fine tips. And this right here, my friends, is my first ever POSCA set. Yep, I've never owned a POSCA pen before. To be fair, I used one of these ones. But other than that, I'm a total POSCA newbie. Oh, and I'll also be comparing it with my old beloved acrylic markers. I've had this for a good year already. It is from this brand called ARRTX and it has 32 colors in it. Much loved set, but yeah, let's get started. So first I'll be swatching all the colors in my binder, and as you can see, I like to do so on both black and white paper. And since this is my first POSCA set, I certainly do feel obliged to make one of those classic POSCA videos. I think it was something similar to that, but yeah, now what you're about to see is pure sadness and sorrow. As a POSCA newbie, I had to do this. Oh well, I guess I got a little excited right there. But after activating almost every single pen in the set, I was finally able to get the hang of it. So hooray for me, and here's a little clip of me swatching all the colors. And boom, done. Now these are all the swatches on black and white paper, and I've got to say, POSCA is POSCA. Aside from the yellow, orange and white, maybe the red as well, all the colors were pretty opaque. And this is only one layer of paint. I always leave at that on my swatches because I use this for reference. So yeah, thumbs up for POSCA. Okay, now comparing POSCA with the ARRTX markers. I have to say that they both have similar prices, but ARRTX has more colors and also the double tip pen. Now the ARRTX markers compared to the POSCA markers have a very different feel to them. Like the tips are way softer, especially the brush tip is like a little sponge. But yeah, ARRTX fine tip is more similar to POSCA tip. Since I got a 0.7 for POSCA, the ARRTX is a little thicker, but if you use ARRTX's brush tip, you can get finer lines with ARRTX. The really big difference here is going to be the opacity. You can see that ARRTX is way less opaque right from the start. And just a few colors, like the dark blue, seem to be more opaque on this black paper. But do not fret, ARRTX lovers, these markers do pretty good on white paper. Well, at least in my newbie opinion, I think the colors turned out pretty bright and nice. And finally, here's a side-by-side comparison for these markers. So yeah, like I said before, the ARRTX markers are a little bit faint on black paper. So for black paper, POSCA markers win. They are very opaque and very bright. But for white paper, I do have to say though that the ARRTX white marker is very underwhelming. But aside from that, both POSCA and ARRTX are pretty good. Oh, I almost forgot that, but the black paper I'm using is from Arteza. It's a 150 gram premium paper. And for the white paper, I'm using a Canson watercolor 300 grams. So yeah, none of the markers that I showed you leaked through these papers, as you can see. Oh, also ignore that some of the papers have something else on the other side of the paper, because this is just how I do my swatches. So So if you want more opacity, I would go for POSCA, but I wouldn't underestimate the ARRTX acrylic markers. I myself use these for a long time and I really like them. I don't draw a lot, but I even have a drawing that I've made to show you. And aside from the sky and the rain, everything was painted here with the ARRTX markers. I'm also planning on making another video using both POSCA and ARRTX markers to paint 3D printed keycaps. Because as I said, I don't draw a lot, but I do use these a lot. And usually it is to paint 3D printed models. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, consider liking and subscribing, and see you soon!